The fuck is this song? The fuck? Hey guys, welcome to my wacky zany YouTube channel. Today we're gonna be playing Fall Guys. Hope you guys are super excited. What the fuck is this? What? And how did I get 2 in a row? This shit's on shuffle. The fuck is this? Keep it, please. I mean, this one has kitty cats. Hold on. I gotta figure out if I can do a browser source for another stream, which I shouldn't do, but I don't. Hold on. Okay, cats. Cats, simmer down, cats. That's you guys in chat. You know what this sounds like? Sounds like if the Rayman Legends soundtrack wasn't the best ever made, and they like phoned it in on a song. Oh shit, is this starting? Okay, it's not starting. I didn't even know they were doing this today, and I was like last minute, you're like, yeah, you know what, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, here we go. The wings of courage. Okay, how am I capturing this? I want to try something different, which is always the fun thing to do on a stream, is to take what you know works, take what you're certain will work, and then not do it. And then try something new for the sake of trying something new. Like Moon does. He captures, whenever he looks at a stream, he uses an OBS source, and then it makes you watch ads because you're not logged in, and it's bad. And it might be really loud, so let me lower my volume. Oh, and I literally can't watch it in an OBS source because I need to click start watching. The broadcaster has indicated this channel is intended for mature audiences. The thing that as a content creator you should never do to enable something like that. I don't care if you're making like what your content is. Don't turn those on. But your PlayStation and, you know, higher standards, and they got to do it. Okay, so here's my camera. You guys want to look at the boy? That's me. I'm the boy. This is me in my home. This is my gamer posture. We game like this. Okay. Now, I'm still on fire? My scene is still on fire? Hold on. Hold on. Open a window? Or then the outside might get in me. You guys wouldn't want that now, would you? Focus on the prize. Okay. 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 We good? That's my head now. I'm gonna I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn up the air conditioner. Never mind. It already is. A fan of the square button? They say they're bringing it back. Help. Oh. They started playing a song. It sounded like there was 3 songs playing at once. Beep 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 beep. They're playing the beep 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 song. No. Come on, my dear. It was a pun. They meant like a deer, like a Christmas deer kind of thing, like a reindeer.
Fine pet for Amy.
Hey, Ster, what's your starting soon screen? The one that, this one, you're seeing it? This is it. This is my starting soon screen. Maybe he's asking what the fuck is it about? Maybe. Maybe. Gameplay captured from a PS5 system. Buy yours today. Get it next year. No more fire. Is this fucking... I don't know. Where do you... Oh no, this is the We Are PlayStation trailer. Oh, with the music that people are gonna... I'm being DMCA'd right now! No. No. No one has ever been DMCA'd. It's never happened. That's tiny. I don't know where to put this. I don't know where to put me. Like... I've never streamed before. Like, I don't... Yeah, I bet they started filming this when Cyberpunk, like before it came out, and they thought Cyberpunk was gonna be a big hit, and they were like, let's film this PlayStation commercial and have it be like weird and Cyberpunk themed. The camera shake? It's like I'm in the game. Cyberpunk of Thrones? Okay, so they're playing chess. They're dressed like, I don't know, teenagers. And so are their guns. And they're like, haha, gotcha. You didn't think that we knew that I was capturing the queen, but he's the king.
Today he swap stories with fellow cyber junkies in the forum.
Almost a year with no controversy? From me? I don't do anything. Are these gamers? What the fuck's happening? Apparently play has no limits. You can play chess or you can play... I didn't really see anyone else playing anything other. There was only chess. This was about the time last year when I got out of jail.
I'm Jim Ryan, President.
No, that was a few years
of
ago.
Sony Interactive
It was like 2 years ago.
Welcome to the PlayStation Showcase. At PlayStation, we believe in pushing boundaries and setting the benchmark for creativity.
When I robbed that electronics store.
entertainment. We always love the opportunity to speak directly with our community.
I did powerbomb her, yes. Can we stop talking about my troubled past for like 1 second and focus on the games? It's about the games. Show me the toys.
Grateful for the PlayStation community. So thank you for allowing us time to share some significant.
Show me all these PlayStation games that I'll never play because they're gonna be locked to a system no one can buy, and also I'm not going to. Except maybe they'll show Elden Ring and then chat will be like, "What? I had no idea they were gonna make this game. I had no idea. Dude, it looks like Dark Souls." And I'll be like, "Yep, it does look like that."
Is what the Sith believe. They promise power. Now they wield it.
Oh shit.
Sith in generations.
I gotta reach all the way over here from my mixer. I don't like... I give up. I need like a mixer poking rod. Because I'm trying to dodge the screen. No gameplay, no buy. Cancel the game. It looks stupid. There's no gameplay in it. I don't give a shit. No buy. Octo, man, Octo, I feel bad. Like I got you addicted to the best game ever, and I'm just like, just fine, go play it, whatever, dude. Just go play it. That's all I want to level on Amazon, but I don't want to actually spend the time it will take to level on Amazon. Because every moment I'm doing that, I'm going to be thinking, fuck, I have so much stuff I should be doing. I'm in that loop where like I really want to play too, but it's kind of the Myriad finish line. Oh shit, is that the Dark Soul? Focus on booty lady. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm over here trying to focus. I don't speak this language. I can't read. What's happening? Anime characters trying to kill God. I want to kill chaos. Like that? Mm-hmm. 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 I think that if I was an attractive anime girl, I would absolutely wear the shiny butt latex pants. I don't know about you guys. But if I could pull the look off, I would. Is that the Dark Soul? Yeah, this is Elden Ring. Everyone's been talking about it. If you've got it, flaunt it. It might get annoying, like, going dressed like this everywhere, because everyone would all the time be asking, like, if I ride a motorcycle. And I don't. It's funny, more like, okay, this game looks like it could be good, but the thing I care about the most is when it shows what studio's making it, so that I can have the level of confidence that that studio is making it. Because if it gets to the end of this and it's like Anime Interactive presents, then I'm like, oh no, I'm checked out on this. They showed the studio in the beginning. Do you think how am I supposed to know that? Project Eve from Shift Up Corporation? The Shift Up Corporation. Oh, is it actually part of the Eve universe? Wait, what? Dude, I don't know what I just saw. I'm like the lowest IQ person that you're supposed to be presenting to, and I didn't get it. Look cool. Probably PS only.
Dragon Lord.
The Dragon Lord. Wonderlands, indeed.
Your party of heroes can't stop me.
Who's ready to rickety roleplay? Spoiler? It's you, baby.
I was just imagining having her as a DM. Maybe I could learn some tips. I mean, this is what people are into. Market research. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now some of you may be asking, Tina, why are there guns in a fantasy world? And I am just so glad you asked, because shut up your face and get shooting!
Okay. I actually was thinking that. Okay, 2 questions. Number 1, which language is this? Is it Korean? That's the first part. Japanese? Okay. Then I hear it all the time. Which Japanese word sounds like the N-word?
You ready, newbie?
What? I'm just asking. They had it in the song. They said it like 5 times in a row.
Alright, trailer.
I want to know what it means.
Credit scene here. This ain't no super duper hero movie.
Run away? Okay. That makes sense. I mean, literally anything you would have said would have made sense.
I'll let you in on a secret, but I'm a pretty big deal.
See, Ashley, Apex players are getting banned for this. I'm not
You're getting out of
I'm not out here
I promise we'll go
making
somewhere
stuff up.
with
Can you pet the cat?
no more fights. Clean air, bright skies.
Oh shit, she just got isekai.
What the actual
My God, do I have that on this scene?
Whoa, wait.
Just asking
Wait, stop,
questions.
Stop. Whoa. Where on earth is this?
Earth, yeah.
Who's there?
And technically not Earth. Well, not what you would call Earth, anyway.
I swear to God, asshole, show yourself.
Show myself. I've shown.
Where are you?
Right here, at the end of your arm. Oh, hello, yes.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's...
Oh shit, Elden Ring!
I'm seeing
Here it is!
freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a cop. Did I just do that?
We did.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic, kill jacked up beasts, I'll probably fly next.
No, you're just being ridiculous.
Oh, that's too far. Good to know there's a line.
Oh, you can't even see my hand.
Our land suffers.
Hand magic is
The only
weird.
hope we have. You're special. You're the one that's planning on facing off with Sylar.
Tanta Sylar is the strongest and most formidable of all the Tantas.
Yeah, but I can defeat him because I just came from the other world.
Doing our land a great service.
I'm the chosen one.
Frey. No name for a demon. I am the one you seek.
I can't remember if this was shown before.
Tanta Sylar.
Like a tiny brief snippet of it. Vaguely remember it. Looks cool. It's like the Spider-Man games, but if you didn't like Spider-Man at all,
For decades,
and you just want it to be transported into a fantasy world and be the chosen one.
worst global threats imaginable.
Like Spider-Man.
Hostage situations, biological weapons, the threat of nuclear war. But now, we face the greatest terror our world has ever known.
Yo, is this prototype? Aww. Thanks for at least answering quickly. I was almost like, dude, would they actually make a new prototype game? I'd get excited. So it's good to know that I didn't have to. That was well timed. I thought that was in the game. Thanks for the sub.
If we want a shot at tomorrow, we will move as one. We will think as one.
Yeah.
We will do whatever it takes
Same.
as one.
We're in this together. Dude, insidious black veins? I'm in. You know what? I'm in.
Together, we enter the unknown. Together, we fight for our future. And no one will be left behind.
A Ubisoft original. Tom Clancy's a Ubisoft original. That's crazy. Epic Games Publishing presents a game by Remedy Entertainment. Was Remedy Control?
It's coming for me. Whatever you do, don't go out in the dark. Stay in the light.
The Deerfest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist, no less.
Alice?
Oh.
Alice?
Yeah, I mean, I said oh then like I just realized what it. I don't know. That, I'm a delayed react streamer.
I was missing a
The same game that you could play, but now you could play. You know how it goes.
I squeezed the flashlight.
I never played the Alan Wake games. None of them.
I could save myself.
Not even that one that I think never came out. Or maybe it did. I don't even know.
Carl Stucky, pleased to meet you.
My name is Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I'm a writer.
I don't belong here. I'm an analyst. Yeah, I feel like I would enjoy Alan Wake if it were a 1 hour long movie.
Hello, Franklin.
What's up?
Okay.
I gotta run now, okay?
Alright, bye, babe.
Am I being Skyrim'd right now?
It's lonely up here. Come on, man, speed up. Get us out of here.
Any of you guys are young gamers. You haven't been in the game very long. Back when we used to watch like E3 and game conferences, they would all be like new games and not things that you had played like a year ago. It was a lot more exciting. Yeah, you never know what's gonna come up next. Oh, Battlefield moment. That was a fucking Battlefield moment if I ever saw one. A year ago? I'm not gonna try 7 because I played it less than a year ago. I didn't say it came out. Give it to me.
Your saliva.
Again, it fits. What was just announced? Oh, it's GTA 5 is still playable. It was announced.
What was that?
Oh shit, Slender Man. Okay, question for the anime nerds.
People always decry the truth.
Hold on. I'll wait.
To face it. Still your fear. I will be her salvation.
Mari.
The time is nigh. The world rests on the precipice of transformation. A new age will dawn.
Ghostwire Tokyo. Yeah, it looks cool visuals. I would like that if it were like an hour-long movie. What I was gonna say is, if the entire world changes around you, like his whole world turns into ghost things, is it a reverse isekai because everyone in the world has been replaced except for you? Does it count? Can we still put the category tag on it? Nah. No? Yeah. Sure, why not? Okay, we're split on this.
You came here seeking truth. Rejoice. The matriarch wishes to share it with you. United in the light of belief.
Dude, this is that game that's like Spider-Man.
Will end.
But the other characters.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Cease this at once.
Fine. Osmo! How you doing, buddy?
Grand Unifier Acre,
Fart.
leader of the Church of Truths.
During that ritual with the priest.
More controversy. Dude, I'm just repeating what Jerma said.
Funky juice or something.
Or join the cult.
So let us investigate for you.
This is great if you like Spider-Man, but it's not Spider-Man, so if you like these more than Spider-Man, then this is great for you.
Hey, World Mind, long time no see.
The current probability of defeating the
Universal Church of Truth is
0.3%.
He'll take those on.
It sounds bad.
Let's get him.
Got one hell of a speech plan, Peter.
That makes two of us. Follow me!
By rejecting the promise, you have proven yourselves unworthy, and you must be destroyed.
I'm reacting.
That was completely intentional. The Milano's on her way.
How come they got the same Rocket Raccoon and the same Groot, but not the same Star-Lord actor? Like, he looks just like a raccoon, and Groot looks just like Groot. Sorry, someone, please don't actually try and answer my question. Anyone, thank you. Click, click, clack, clack. Yeah, so this was out and people played it for a week. I mean, it's bold to think they're going to again, but we'll see. He's a Vandal and a Brute. Okay. Oh, is it bad? It wasn't bad. It wasn't particularly good though. It's a battle royale game. And that really kind of sums it up.
Welcome to the Eon program. Picture your perfect you.
Oh yeah, fucking Deathloop comes out like next week in like 6 days or something. I'll probably play that. And Deathloop, yeah, Deathloop.
The Visionaries. 8 geniuses who painted up a prison and named it Freedom. Locked us all in one repeating day. Their eternity.
They really have had a lot of trailers.
Party that you can never leave.
I'm dying. This trailer made me die.
Be unforgettable. A bunch of spaced out science nerds, brainwashed cultists flinging bombs, whatever these guys are doing, all spewing bullshit.
Elon Musk did this? Did I hear him wrong?
So how come I don't
That's a twist.
Shit. This Party Island hangover is none my thing. My thing is answers. Who are these people? What do they want with me? And why is she always one step ahead? Come on, Colt. You gotta put this together. Somebody built this place. Somebody's sending me these messages from the future, the past, whenever. And some jackass
tutorial.
never playing out here. Is this a contest for them? Some type of experiment? How does this time loop work? Does anybody remember? Why is everyone wearing a mask? What is the black notes anymore? Who am I?
Who am I?
I want you to remember. I want you to remember why you came here.
Just tell him.
Is that look good. I've imagined myself a way out.
This person totally got kicked off and they wiggled a bit, then they went like pure like stiff. That's how I'm gonna go.
Time loop before it breaks me.
Stiff. Uh-huh. Am I about to get spooked right now? I don't wanna. No gameplay, no buy. Among Us? Wait, oh, I didn't see that. I'll play now. Now I'm down. The album announcement? What? It was a game. I don't know what's real anymore. Are these people real? Uh-huh. What? That kind of came out of nowhere. Really pleasant, then the girl just... Jesus. Okay, so you steal the souls of the unwilling. Oh, Breath of the Wild did it. Fortnite did it. I'm sorry. I stream too much. Sometimes they rub off on you. And it just ruins you. And I don't even stream much.
This is the place to go if you want to see boobs.
It's true.
What a deluge!
There is quite a deluge going on. Oh my god, you can pet the crab. Okay, I'm in. But can the crab even feel the pet?
The biggest pirate treasure of all time is within our grasp.
How does crab work?
Tusk of Ganesh? Now that's not an easy find.
Do crabs have souls?
Last I checked, we're all a bunch of thieves digging around where we shouldn't.
Hey, is this the same game you've already played, but play it again and we're going to show you the game again?
This treasure gets what they deserve.
It's rhetorical, yeah, I know. It's on PC now. That's cool, I guess. I guess by that time frame, how long are we going to have to wait for Bloodborne? Like 8 years? 20?
I'm Herman Hulst, head of
Hey,
PlayStation
Herman.
Studios. PlayStation Studios, at its heart, is a diverse and passionate group of storytellers at our collective of AAA studios all across the globe. Everything we do is driven and inspired by storytelling.
Remastered Bloodborne for only
PlayStation
PS5?
5
No.
gives us the opportunity to push the boundaries of storytelling even further. Our world-class development teams at PlayStation Studios have already delivered.
I mean, they
such
basically did
incredible
that
gaming
with
experiences for PS5,
Demon Souls.
and we're only just getting started. As you'll see today with the lineup of exclusive games
I
coming
didn't
from
play
PlayStation
that.
Studios, we're going to continue to drive innovation, advance gaming, while always embracing the legacy of PlayStation and creating games that matter. Games that you're not going to find anywhere else. Enjoy.
Oh shit, Elden Ring remastered? Get him. Stab him. No. Okay, if you were Wolverine and you could regenerate, wouldn't you just let him stab you? No gameplay, no buy. It's true. No, it still hurts. Yeah, but like, I need to feel something, you know? Wolverine seems like the kind of guy that could just really go for feeling something. What the This music does not match. There's a vampire in the engine. Oh. No gameplay, no buy. I thought they were done. No, they got more. They got more opera. You can't drive that in the desert. This, oh, well, I guess this is the gameplay. True, I'll agree. See, it is the gameplay. See? 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 You know, I will never understand people who collect cars, particularly super rich people who have like garages of 20 cars of all these super expensive things. People who collect stuff in general, not really my my MO. Like all your anime figurines that are behind you. But I think it goes to the next level when you collect cars you don't own in Gran Turismo and take pictures of them. I'd get anime figurines if I was loaded. But why? If you did anything practical with them, like if you looked at them to like for artist reasons, or if you got me my own set and we could play action figures together. Artist reasons? Yeah, it is. You could pretty much explain anything with artist reasons.
As long as I can remember, I have looked for an equal.
Oh shit.
One who could push me.
I kind of miss it when, like, all movies were Marvel movies, but now that it's also all games, I don't know.
Yet all I found is disappointment.
It's just a bit much.
Will one of you finally give me what I desire?
Wait, yeah, I thought it might have been Infamous as well when the lightning thing happened. I was like, ooh, new Infamous? That'd be cool.
Yes. We will.
Spider-Man. Other Spider-Man. Oh, shit. Dude, when are they gonna make a game with Other Spider-Man 3? The red one. New superheroes. Just make one up. It can't be hard. Stan Lee made up like a fucking 100 of them. Just make one up, man. It's your boy. Boy is still a young boy. Just grow up.
Winter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow
What?
you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anymore. I just want answers.
If you want to find out who you are, just look within. Fucking idiot.
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
We do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
True.
What in all yarns be that happened to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
That's totally what his son would say. I want to stop the end of the world, but what if we can do it by killing?
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person? In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
I don't know, something funny about his son being on the magical deer. It was an elk streamer. He's like, fuck you.
Are you coming with us?
Okay, I'm sorry, my reaction there is reveal he's tall. How many tall motherfuckers has God of War killed that are like actual Titan giants? And you're like, he's 2 feet taller than me. Ah, big reveal. Oh, who the fuck cares at that point? Scale is irrelevant. Oh shit, more updates. Yeah, dude, all the bosses in God of War are like skyscrapers. Not gonna fool me. Is that it? Are we done? Okay. Oh shit, I think I've been streaming longer than I realized. This has been up for an hour. Cringe music? Yeah, I wish they would go back to the gothic opera for this. Personally. Mm-hmm. I have no opinion. Dude, they just like, is this fucking Naruto episode? They just showed that.
That was the PlayStation Showcase. We've got more info and updates coming right now, and I'm in fact joined by no less than PlayStation Studios head Herman Hulst. Herman,
Yeah,
really
Herman.
strong showing here from PlayStation Studios tonight, including an awesome new look at GT7 and finally a release date.
GT7 is coming in March, and I don't
Yeah.
think fans are going to be disappointed with what Yamauchi.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I wasn't really expecting anything. I just saw it was happening. Figured I'd turn on my stream and then we could work on Myriad stuff afterwards. And it feels like it's the afterwards portion now because they're going to talk about games. And we all know what's cringe. Games. Right? I'm trying to move this. I know I'm... Watch the VODs. Video games are cringe. What's the last game you played that you enjoyed? Chat.
He's showing interest in my body?
And chat's about to name a whole bunch of games they've enjoyed? That sounds kind of cringe. Trivial Pursuit, no, Octo. The correct answer was Diablo 2. The fucking... How old is that game? 20 years now? They haven't made a good game in 20 years. And then they tried to remaster it, and it was like, hey, no, just play the 20-year-old version. Playing D&D Online count as a video game? No, it doesn't. I'm not allowing it. Disco Elysium? Also not gonna count that. That's a book. You fucking read a book, dude. They tricked you into reading a book. Maybe you should try some more of them. What about Bloodborne? That was also like 30 years ago. Is it still a book with a full voice acting? Yeah, they're called audiobooks. You just get the book and then someone reads it to you. Why am I even explaining this stuff? Okay, okay. Delete it. Ugh, code? Ugh.
He went on a 3-week video game bender.
Code is cringe. I don't know if I actually have the energy to like do this on stream right now. To go over things and explain things and talk and use words. Do I? Debatable, debatable, debatable thinking, debatable. What was I currently working on? Technical stuff that doesn't make any sense to people. Lame. Lame. I like Darkwood. Okay. What about Planescape Torment? I mean, isn't that like 20 years old too? Don't speak or else. How close to finish It Myriad? It Myriad is... There's too many boxes. Pretty close. Pretty close. Got most of the classes done. I did some more from the last stream. There's a few more to catch up on. I made a few thingies. I made, it's basically like filling out, finishing classes, making sure there is enough for character creation, and then I'm ready.
Today he swapped stories with
And character creation of finished things is... All of these are spells that are done, and several of them have multiple levels, so it's not one-to-one. And then all of these, minus the ones that you can't even fucking see. You can't even see. All of these are skills that are done, which are not spells. They're like spells, but for people that have, like, muscles. And then all those were the spells. And then social things. And it's enough. There's like, you know, I just want to make sure there's enough character creation, variety, and things. And everything's finalized so that it all works when people go to make characters. That's the important part. That's all I have left to do. So I'm going to spend like until... I'm going to spend until the end of the month doing that. And then Tip of the Hats is at the end of the month. Not exactly sure what they're doing, but a 2-day event. And they're doing it in Austin, so I'll be there. And then after that, I'll probably start contacting people to play in the game. And then while like the gap between signing them up, doing a session 0, we need to draw the characters, and I need to revise the campaign and be certain of what I'm running. Like update all the old tokens. Undefined function, my patience. True. And do all of that. Yeah. Any game with a narrative is reading a book. We've been conned. Yeah. I mean, I have to dress it up for you guys, but if I could just write a book, get 5 other streamers, bring them on my stream, and read the book to them, and them just sit there and go, oh, God, yeah, go more, tell more. That would be pretty cool. I've seen people try it, but what I've learned over time is that the players are more important. So they like to write their book rather than listen to mine. When do you think you're gonna finish it? I don't know. That's a loaded question. Of the last 5 minutes of explanation you just listened to. Finish it now! So what we could maybe do is... leave this one behind. Occasionally it has to happen. It feels bad every time. Kinda go through and do a... sort of what Path of Exile did this league, where they made 19 skills, like 1 for each class pretty much. Just go through the classes again and make a skill that synergizes with each of them to make sure that they all have a little bit of extra juice, as it were. As we went over, this screen is all goofed. Brimstone was all about lighting yourself on fire. People like lighting themselves on fire. I don't know what it is. And since then I made like one ability for lighting yourself on fire. Or two, not directly that, but kind of within that same theme to make sure that things exist. I need an exact date. But I can't give that right now. Unless you want to be mad. A lot of people in chat usually want to be mad. I don't know. I guess let's give that a try, see how long I can hold my shit together. I went and I was in the gym this morning, very tired, picked up very heavy things, a little exhausted. I did this really
People
big
bring food to
stream.
You, or you keep food stashed next to the computer because you literally do not want to get up.
Where I had to, guys, I had to react to other people's content for like an hour. I'm super just worn out right now, okay? Bruh. My lift routine, pick it up, put it down. I have a whole bunch of skills done for austerity. I don't really need to do that. There's still multiple of these. I don't exactly know what they are. Here, give me one of the good Ragnarok bops. Spotify is fucking what? It's playing songs from the playlist that I want, which are local files, but if I go to local files, nothing exists. Yeah, it is magic. Spotify and local files, like you'd think local files would be the easy thing to do. Has never gone very well. Here you can get 100 more gains if you skip the put it down part. Maybe. I might try that next time. Yeah, just pick it up and hold it? Yeah, I think okay. Okay, you know what I was thinking earlier? I want to make a super juiced single melee attack for one of the melee boys. So I feel like some of the melee stuff is lacking. A slam skill. Earthquake. I don't really project manage in anything because there's no one else working on it. So I don't need like that detailed of a list. I just need to know what I need to do. Whirlwind barb. I could do, I don't think I want to go that specific yet until there's a baseline where I could do like you need a hammer to use this skill level of specificity, but I don't want to do that. I just want to do like Oh yeah, I have sticky notes all over my desk. It's not a complex system. It's just sticky notes. Not on the monitor. I have some reminder of how to code a couple of things that I constantly forget underneath my monitor. Of like what each argument is in order so I do it right. Let them attack an additional time. The Myriad lets you have 2 actions. You already get that. I want 1 slam, 2 action attack. The problem with this is, now that I'm remembering and thinking about it, is that generally the way things are set up, with a skill, I can't force you to use an equipped weapon. So you have something like quick attack for dex classes. Attack a single target within range with a weapon attack that deals 1 damage. So that 1 damage can carry all of your on-attack properties, but it can't actually use your weapon. So it is just a mock, like, 1 damage weapon attack.
You got kids?
Simulator. I could do skills very easily with unarmed attacks because they're done differently. But what I had been doing before was like, there was a skill called Armor Strike where you expend all of your armor and it's dealt as damage on your next attack. So I need to like, you activate the skill and it primes you, and then your next attack carries over the effects of whatever skill you had used. But that is also kind of not ideal. So I'm trying to think quickly if I've learned anything that would make there's a better way to do that. Because that kind of requires... No, I think I could do it. I think I have a new method in my brain. My noggin. So before, Armor Strike would create a status on your character, but bloating statuses and map tools kind of sucks, and applying them and removing them. But what I can do is use the same skill system that I have, apply a, quote, skill to your character, and then when you make your next attack, set it to 0 to basically remove it. That makes sense to me. So let's try and make a skill with this model real quick. Low health, more damage. I've got 1 or 2 of those. Okay. I need you know what, I don't. I'm just going to use Titan Arms. I don't know what the fuck this is. No one knows. No one knows. Biggest passive, big hands. Okay, I'm curious. Hold on. I haven't looked at this. What the fuck? Oh! Reduce the amount of hands required to hold an item. Okay. Yeah, that was important. Okay. Initialize your variables when making a new method. I have no idea what you're talking about. I type words and they make magic happen. I no understand. The words make the magic. So at a very base, let's just keep it simple. Your next weapon attack. Oh, this brings up several questions of how I was dealing with something. I'm gonna keep it ultra super simple. As like a model, and probably like scrap this once I understand exactly what I'm doing. Applies 10 bleed. Real simple. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I also don't know if my screen is even on this. Okay, it is. It's probably easier. That's like a kind of a balance nightmare. It'd be easier for me to say all attacks of this turn do this, because I have this function which sets the skill on you for your turn in combat only. But the problem in balance-wise there is that daggers use one action and hit twice, and just daggers mess with a lot of weapon attack stuff. I could check and say, like, this can't be used with daggers, but anyway. I mean, at a base, like, that's already done. Like, that's the only line it would need. Though it also, no quote. That's tricky again. Because if you're holding a dagger and a sword, it would prevent the sword from using the skill because you're holding a dagger. I think there might need to be like a different hook point that I need for weapon attacks. Thinking with my brain, which I have to keep you updated on. Every once in a while, I gotta let you remember and remind you I'm thinking with my brain. Thank you, Love Goblin, Platypus Addict, Light Daxter, Phil QQ. Nice shirt, gamer. Thanks, Dexev, Blue Phoenix, everyone who subbed. Yes. I'm trying to think of how to do this the easiest way possible that doesn't need me to create unique skill thingies. Because, like, there was already a weapon attack hit bleed if we were doing that. But I can think of a much easier way to do this, but then I wouldn't be able to use hit bleed. It would basically be an identical thing. The only difference is when and where it's applied. Because then we would check inside the actual attack itself if you have the attack bleed skill that I would have to make new, and if you do, apply it, then remove it immediately after any attack. Which is probably the best way to do it, but it feels really, like, if I make a bunch of skills like that, it would get really bloated. I'm thinking if I can avoid it.
The master works all, you can't go wrong.
Is there a true strike? There's a true strike status. For every one true strike you have, you get 10% accuracy bonus. So, I mean, that true strike is actually roughly an example of how this would work. And it already exists, but it uses status effects. And it might just be easier to make more status effects, but then you need to teach players more keywords, which also gets bloated after a while. Or I can go to Chaboy and give him True Strike.
What a deluge!
10, and it scales, so True Strike 10 is plus 100% accuracy on his next attack. After the attack, True Strike is removed, so it's doing everything we want to do here. But, there kind of is a level of bloat I'm trying to avoid. And there is another status effect I made this morning with the patience thing, as patience is removed on your next source of damage and adds a flat amount of damage equal to patience. So I could probably just utilize that for any big hammer swing skill that I want to make. To have it just grant yourself patience would do like the exact same thing. I have a trapper class. I have a lot of trapper abilities, but I haven't made any class that's item specific because item stuff is very up in the air on how a lot of it will work. Can there be a generic? There can be anything. Your imagination. Has no limits. But I have to think. I should do an ability that I know how to do. I don't like getting into these like thought loops on stream of trying to solve problems or come up with new things. I just like to do the thing I already know how to do. And that is very clear and concise, and I can make it in chat. I'll be like, oh, I saw you make it. Cool, it works. Because, using the patience thing as an example would, again, a lot of balance issues there. Actually, I guess what I'm not thinking of, I was worried that patience is kind of like a rogue thing. And if I gave them a lot of patience, then they would absolutely fuck. But if I just had like a strength requirement and a requirement for body from the classes on the skill, then it's way less likely that they'll fuck with it. Though also not for sure, because you could still get it. I forget what the Cobalt racial trait does. Something. I bet you it does something. I think ultimately what I'm thinking of here, I have a very different way to approach the big heavy attack that is a passive ability. I'm gonna have to go over all the skill icons at some point. I'm gonna redo stuff. Let's say if you end your turn with any amount of actions remaining, actions being unused, gain plus 5 patience, we'll say, which is basically 5 damage on your next hit. So it's kind of like storing up damage if you don't want to use an action, which is ultimately the same thing that I'm kind of going for, is I want one attack to be a big hit. And will also help you if you want to just like not use your, you don't want to use an action this turn. I don't know if I should do it per action. I think that would probably be better. You end your turn. It is Goku. Should it stack? It's gonna stack, yeah. One of the classes now Elder. I made it so they gain 1 patience at the start of every round. So they are kind of like, if they don't deal damage for a few turns, then they do a lot more. I think 1 per turn might be too weak for them. I might give them more. Because the bonus damage that it adds does not get crit multiplied. So it's not as outrageous as it would have been before. I had to make some adjustments with how bonus damage is dealt. Bonus on the next attack if they miss. I kind of have some stuff like that. I have on the loot table for swords, if you miss an attack, you gain armor. And I don't dislike the idea. I just would tie that to loot instead of character selection, because it's more of a item kind of thing. Anyway, this seems fine. Let's do that. Dot patience. That's about 5. Now we gotta go actually make it. I need to find where end turn is in this mess. Should be... here. So we do this variable. For most of all things, we do it this way. So it's unused.variable, which in this case, we want it to be patience for the ability we're making. So if we, in the future, ever wanted to be like, hey, you know what? It'd be cool if when you ended your turn, you gained rejuvenate. Then that will all work here because it checks every status and checks to make sure each skill that you have for each thing. So nice. Programming's fun. Haha. I think I'm done already. Though I'm not... I might have to hide it from chat output because it might be weird with the next turn coming up. The way these skills work is me writing unused patience in here, and the amount already plugs that in. That should be 2. Well, then the other one I copied it from should also have been. Oh well, it's kind of the same thing. I'm kind of pausing for a second because like that felt like too easy. Surely something's wrong. Goku power! That's a good name for a skill. I'm the DM. I get to choose what it's called. I say Goku power. Slave. Okay, come here, slave. Kind of weird. Let's make sure there's no combat going on right now, so I'm gonna end combat. Why is my oh, I accidentally turned off auto scroll. It's Slave's turn. A line test should have the skill. We just gave it to him. So it's his turn. He has 2 actions. He gained +5 patience. Ah, because, and yeah, it's showing it weird above the round. And if it was a turn, I should probably hide it. That's very strange. But also you want... I don't know, dude. Times... Cur action? Okay, now it adds 10. We're done. Nice! Progress! We did a thing! We made Goku power! He has no weapons. This isn't gonna work, right? Oh, please don't be loud. Yeah, I think I didn't make patience right this morning. I think it goes away when you miss, which it shouldn't. And I don't think it actually removes the status effect properly. Yeah, it doesn't. Shit. Fixed. Fixed? Okay, he has 10 patience again. I attacky. Wow! 17 damage, 8 damage, 10 bonus, which is how much he should have had, so it's working. It didn't remove it, though. But why not? The stupid icon. Oh, because this is in the wrong spot. Wait, is it? No, it's not. Let's try again and just pretend. Okay, it does work. I don't know. Sometimes clicking apply like doesn't apply it if you like click apply and move your mouse. And I do that sometimes. That might have been all that was. Stack it. Smash. Okay. I want to double check that if I miss, it doesn't consume it, and then I'm moving on. Okay. Everything works. Big Dam? Are you my big dammy boy? Now, should I... I guess I'm not gonna restrict it to any sign. I'm gonna balance it later. But that's done. Cool. But what now? While I'm on the subject, it'd be really easy to make anything similar of like gain X status, because we basically just made that whole thing possible at the for each unused action. Like Humanity Boys would probably get some good use out of that for Impervious. Actually, that would be kind of OP. You'd be spending an action to give yourself Impervious a lot of the time. Come, and indeed. That really do be what it like. Food buffs, if I do anything like that, it's not going to be when I do the first campaign. I want to make a whole camping phase if I want to commit to that. But items is the most complicated thing right now that I've been going back and forth on, because should I give players macros that are the items? Should I make a list of all the items so that the DM can execute them and not have to like remember what they all do? Should players just keep track of items because they like doing that anyway most of the time? And then the DM can just do it when they use the item? But if the items are too complicated, then is that too much of a pain in the ass? And I want to have downtime actions for like gathering herbs and maybe fishing. Do I actually give people fish? Or do I just tell them what they do and they keep track of it? I have not figured out what I want to do there. Yeah, currently I'm leaning towards players keep track and the DM will do it. The only thing I don't like about that is if an item does more than one thing, it will be annoying for the DM to do it, especially if the DM's not me, to remember how to do all the things. Like if it's heal 10 and you gain this status effect, like too many things. I'm checked out.
The masterworks all, you can't go wrong.
I mean, won't that be in notes? Yeah, but the whole point of making a programmed thing is so that you don't have to open up your pamphlet to find out what your item did. I watch? Cool, thank you, welcome. Thinking if there's something else I can do with tile effects or gaining status. Here's what we do. We go into the global loot list. I'll just take this one. So this would be able to appear on any item if I add it to the specific item loot table. And we create a list. Patience? That's how it's spelled, right? We create a list of all of the potential options for status effects we want to have that effect that fall in line with how big the buff would be on this.
Today, he swapped stories with fellow cyber junkies in the forum.
The things that would be reasonable. Funnily enough, a character might actually... I don't know. The slow's the troll one. Get trolled. Your item trolled you. Okay, that's probably it. Luke Sang, thank you very much. RNG is the calculation for all of the stuff that goes into how rare your item was, how many mods it has. I think for not using an action, it's tricky because like not using an action but gaining a benefit for it is basically like using one. So if you didn't already have anything to do, it's just straight up good. So giving too much of it might be a little bit weird to just encourage not using any of your resources to constantly generate an effect. Where people can't use full action economy. Well, what I'm saying is in some cases this would be better than using your action. I think it's really strong and I might only put it on like heavy armor. Okay. Okay, done. Identify system for items? No. Do you need to identify items so it feel like the items have weight? That's too obscure of a reference. It's not. No one's getting me. No one understands me. Players, you find an item. Oh, cool. I identify it. Okay, I'll do that for you now. My feet kind of smell. Kind of weird because I took a shower. Why are my feet smelling? What I will do is give players generate 3 items and then let them choose which item they want. That's kind of like identifying, discovering. Okay, what now? I don't know. I also need to make a, for character creation, I was thinking about this earlier. I need to make a, like, armory so you can get starting equipment. And that's a little bit trickier to do than anything else here. Because that would be applying multiple items to your character that are, like, all base level and predictable as starting equipment. But the real issue is removing it if you decide to... I guess that's not an issue. It's just a lot of tedious work to make the baseline starter equipment packs. Yeah, and that's boring work. No, I gotta remove that. I'll do that while I remember. While we're here. What? That whole mechanic doesn't exist anymore. Ah, shit. Now I need to fill that in. Oh, yeah, I could just do that. It's funny, like, I was thinking about I need to go through heavy armor and all the armor types and remove anything that has a reference to maneuver resistance this morning. And I was like, I'm just going to roll 1 heavy armor for fun. And of, like, all the fucking options, it, like, pointed that out again, like, fucking, when are you going to remove me? It rolled 1 modifier, the exact one I didn't want to see. Fuck you. I'm on to you, game. Cool, and I rolled the one we just made. At the start of... Oh no, that's a different one. Start of odd turns, gain rejuvenate. That's odd! That's kind of odd, dude. Do I have backups for all this somewhere? No, I'm a fucking moron. What's a backup? Can't be a coincidence. There are so many times, like hundreds of times, where I test like one thing really quickly and the exact like 100 in 1 chance RNG happens of the exact thing. I was like, oh, that's wrong. Good.
We can't kill her.
Okay.
I'm dead,
I
you're
fixed
dead.
that.
We all died, and now we're killing her. Pay it forward.
Thanks, M4Lazite. Molosite? I don't know. Is that an A? Are you doing Leet speak to me? I don't speak Leet, so I don't really get it. I gotta rephrase those. Successes when attacking with shove is not how it is anymore. I gotta go through a lot of the old loot stuff, and everything with maneuvers changed mostly. It's a fucking 21 damage longsword? What the frick? What? Hold up. That's not right. Okay, okay, I guess it is. Longswords do 10 by default. They scale now based on rarity, so it would be 10 plus 2, because it's basically a plus 2 item with the 2 stars, so it would be 12. Plus 75% damage because it's one action to use.
Are satisfying enough for me to go on living as a virgin forever.
And it might have rolled a +1 that I can't see. Compared to great swords are 14. Yeah, no, that tracks. That's just a fucking monster of a longsword. You roll an item so juicy you think it's bugged. What variants do? Variance is... So, like I was just looking at, the longsword does 10 damage. Rather than saying a longsword does 1d8, it deals 10 damage with a variation up or down of however much percent. So it could be, let's say variance was 50%, then a longsword that does 10 damage could do 5, 10, or 15. That's sick pog. Yeah, I wanted to reduce super high rolls and low rolls and get kind of just a middle ground. You still want variance and rolls because that's, I mean, if you hit exactly 10 every single time, it gets a little bit predictable and exactly how the combat's going to play out if a player really wants to sit there and think about it. But yeah, specifically like beef in the last game was dealing somewhere from like 4 to 30 damage. And it's just like, these are just so all over the place that I'd really just say he does 20, do the variance afterwards would be a lot easier. Beef Pog. Dude, Beef, this guy, that's my boy. That's my freaking boy right there. Extreme variance. Yeah, and there's ways to scale variance because technically the more variance, the bigger your high roll is. So you might, I don't know who the player is that would want to be the high roll god, but someone would want it. Especially if you high roll the damage super variance and get a crit. Maybe the influencers are kind of the extreme ones like that too. I could probably add a like plus 200% variance influence and someone would love that shit. I feel like that would be too strong. It would have to have some crazier downside other than the low roll potential. So like my longsword does 1 damage, 10 damage, or 30. It's kind of yikers. Breakable weapon? Get out of here, dude. Just fucking leave. We're talking like game design and some guy walks in the room and is like, what about weapon durability? It's just, sorry, this is not your crowd. Go design Breath of the Wild or something, dude. Anyway, okay, let's try and make a skill focused on one of the other classes, preferably one that doesn't have them, because there's a few like Maelstrom that have a bunch of blood stuff that they can do. Sycophant now has changed there a lot since the last stream. Caution, no, they get their reaction stuff. There's a lot of reactions. I probably don't need to make a specific one here. I also super juiced Cavell, where they gain like an innate special ability depending on which alignment they choose. So they either once per combat heal someone or once per combat give it someone an action. So I figured the ones that kind of split between the different alignments to give them some varied choices so that the classes can go either way. They're kind of like subclasses, I guess. We're reloading. I'll be here all day doing that. I don't want to be doing that all day on my stream. Yeah, why the fuck does the Myriad have the exposed status? That's not... It's kind of weird. You do be a perv? He's exposing the whole universe. You know what I would like is a spell. Let's go with spell. I would like a spell that scales with your investment in a social ability. How would I do that? If we made the pathetic spell. I also need to take another look at how stuns work. I was thinking like maybe it could be a spell that scales silence or paralysis or something. Paralysis is can't use any attack actions. What I want it to do... God, they're in such a weird place. Maybe I just go over those and even remind myself how it works. When you fucking made all of this, and I need to stop for a second to try and remind myself how something works, some shit's going down. And it should not be the way that it is. So I don't remember what category it's under. Paralysis 1. Okay. It's not doing the thing. Maybe I took it off of this. Condition stun. Okay, stun crashes. Stun doesn't work at all. Okay. That's what I'm trying to see. So I made the super OP status effects like stun not be guaranteed. Everything else is like you don't have to roll a DC for your spell saving throw for something to work. Everything just works and does what it says. But stunning people on a guarantee is kind of fucked. And I was thinking maybe there'd be a better way to do it. To give a chance for people to resist them. And I was doing it based on your strength adds some, your physical resist adds some, your luck adds some. You can see the calculation there, 30% resist on this. So stun resisted, it was 0 instead of stunning him. I feel like those abilities are such crazy outliers though, that understanding how stun resist is calculated is just like... It's dumb. I think I did the same for silence, which is can't cast spells. But this guy, you would need madness and like mental resist and stuff. So what I was thinking of doing instead was guaranteeing the stun, just like everything else. Hey, my ability says I stun, I stun. But having someone's gonna compare this to something else. I'm trying to think of what to compare it to, and I can't. I know other things have done this. Every time you get stunned, that's how you gain stun resistance. So you can't just stun lock a boss. I was either thinking of like once per combat you can be stunned and that's it. After that you resist all of it. Oh, Darkest Dungeon does that? I've still like not played Darkest Dungeon. I suggest that. Yeah, me and Ashley were in the pool. Actually, did you suggest it or was I just swimming around? I was like, you know what? I could do this. And you were like, you could. Wink. So, I don't know if I would go with the 1 per combat rule, or if I should have an increasing chance to resist. Because what I worry about the most for these is the clarity of it. Because it's very hard to... I guess convey within a skill how silence works in that case without a lot of words. And I'm generally speaking a minimal word spewer. And then how would the increasing resist... See, because I would want to incorporate, because I can, like... Physical resistance strength. If you get stunned once, like, the next chance gets substantially higher because this character has a lot of strength, so the next one will be much harder to achieve on them. But I'm thinking of how to convey that to players so that they are aware of what the chance is. So I guess after they're stunned, underneath this line, it would be like... Silence resistance now set to 30%. Or I guess what I would do right here is silence plus 1, that shows the total of how much they have, and then another parentheses of like plus 30% resistance at it. And that should be clear enough. And then I could make that scale the same way this one is and shows the calculation for it, so that players aren't like, wait, why did they get 50% instead of, you know, whatever. I do want it to scale, like, pretty aggressively, though. Here's the other problem. You could apply 5 stun on one application. Right? I guess what I would have to do is do, like, a 4 reach check at every stage of, like, stun 1... Try and make sure the resist goes up. Try stun 2, try stun 3. And do it in a row rather than simultaneously, the way it's currently done. Because right now it's, yeah, like, I could do silence 10, and if the 10 passes, it's fucking... You're silenced for 10 rounds. The amount of it is the duration of it. Okay. This isn't the most exciting, but I'm thinking about it. Let's do it. I think the ones that do this are stun, silence, paralysis? I don't know what the fuck panic is. I don't think it's anything. I think I aborted that, but it's still, like, there. I think there's another one that does not let you use free actions. Or maybe I never made that one. How's the work going today? Alright. Right. This might be a pain in the butt.
You got kids?
W, thank you and welcome. So this is tricky because I need to make sure that this still functions as a status effect exactly the way any other status effect would, but also catch it, do all of the other things that we just described. Because all the status effects feed into this function to make sure that everything else the status effect relies on does what it needs to do. And I need somewhere to track on the token how much... Okay, I kind of have a way to do that already. We would do... Oh no, temp res is... This function is named psychotically. Set temp dot res. No? There we go. Though I think temporary resistances diminish every turn. I don't know if it does that for all of them. Yeah, for every single one of your temporary resists, it reduces it by 2. So do we want, as combat goes on, the stun resistance to drop? It would be 2% basically. If we kept the same scaling, like that's not even a big deal. Just honestly, that just saves me from doing like work here to slightly rewrite this, because I'm kind of hijacking the temporary resists on the character sheet to do something with it that I wasn't intending to do with it, because the functions already exist for it and it'd be a lot easier. Just make something new. It's fine. Is it fine? No, I think I know a better way we can do it. Temp skill lasts for all of one combat. We could set a skill called stun, and that will be the percentage of reduction. I am in. And then we need to come to the conclusion of how we get that percentage. Like we mentioned, we're going to have to do a for each. Hopefully this all fits in it. Or would you do... I think you have to do count, because it's a number. It's not a... Same thing. Well, then it would also do this if you were trying to remove stun. Ugh. Ooh, woo. You ever just like, ooh, woo? Or is that just me? Okay, I'm gonna have to, like, because of how many code layers this is gonna have, I kind of need to define its own function. So that I can do... Modify is greater than 0, which is basically if stun is greater than 1, so not removing stun. Jammer? The eye? I haven't seen those eyes in a long time. Okay, so we take all of this. Put it in here. I'm just chilling with my shirt. That's a whole vibe. Just me and my shirt having a good day. Oh, wait, I don't need to do that. I don't need a... What's the language? I play on a hitbox. This is a lot weirder than I thought it would be. Ster codes? Yeah, only for the last year. Ster plays fighting games? Are we doing that? Is that what we're doing? We having a laugh. Okay, so if modify is greater than 0, for each modify, run this shit. Roll D100. Are we even doing this yet? We're checking for modify is greater than 0 and temp skill. No, that's not how it works. Has skill 2, stun, not equal is it's greater than 0. It's basically saying if you have that skill, you've already been stunned. Wait. It would be not equals 100. Or not. Less than 100. And then we come here, we roll D100. No, we don't. Dude, what do we do? Where am I right now? So the end result of this is what we're trying to do is get modify equals modify minus 1 if it's resisted. And we are determining if it's resisted by all of this shit, the chance, plus the original stun resistance, which is scaling because of how many you got. We need to make another one of these. You get diminishing returns on how many times something can be stunned. Now I'm the Excel guy. Just learn things. It's kind of okay. And then when you learn the thing, you just get to do it all the time. Okay, modify. I'm just gonna. We're already within modify. We're in there. Okay, here's what's happening. I think. I don't know, I'm having a hard time wrapping around my head around what I'm even trying to do right now, because I like just thought up what it was. If the D100 roll plus the chance is, would it be less than 100 based on how I did it? Yes, if it's less than 100, it has not been resisted. So then modify -1. Wait, no. If it's greater than 100, then modify is reduced by 1, because we're reducing, like if 5 stun is tried to be applied, and the chance is greater than 100, so you have more than 100% chance. Wait, are we even rolling anymore? No, we're not rolling at all. It's not random. Wait. Yeah, it is. Fuck, dude. I'm like... The coding part is not the hard part. It's the remembering why I'm here in the first place. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? Okay, time to take some goddamn notes. Okay, then this is probably going to come out of here and go back to the end when we know how much modify is left. Okay, I'm just going to like run this and see what happens and where I am. So we're trying to stun you. What happens? Who are you? Unknown macro. Whoops. Thought I did that. I totally did that. Oh, I did it wrong. The program knows. The program knows when you do wrong. Okay. Big math? What big math? That probably means the conversion that I'm doing here. Okay, hold on. I don't need to pass arguments because of the way this function works. But I think the strength is somewhere not being actually converted. Did I do that backwards? I think I did it backwards. I did. means I did it backwards before, which is probably what's going on. Condition stun. I love a good 0 output. Stun resist it 0%. 30%. Diminishing is 0. Let's try and stun you again with 3 stun. Diminishing, okay. Okay. I really, when I'm doing this, should put on screen the name of the language, because I feel like every time I look at chat, that's the only thing that is like a not painfully, very slow chat with one question in it perpetually forever. For all times. Hey, Mr. Bite. Bite, do you know how the I think you said before that you're not too sure, you don't work on extensions, so that's not really your thing. Do you have any idea how the extensions work? Like the Hearthstone one, where it, based on images it sees on the stream, allows you to hover over them? So I was laying in bed this morning when I woke up, and I was thinking really quickly, like, how, because of how map tools is and how tokens are, if that's not like an absolute jumbled nightmare of being able to update it regularly with like new tokens and new information, then it should theoretically be really easy to be able to hover over a token and get information on a character token. Is it based on images? I'm pretty sure it is. He did? Oh yeah, well, I think Germa uses a different thing, which is a screen region clicker, not exactly what I'm saying. Because your mouse never brings up another menu. It's just, he tracks where people click, I think. There might have been one, but I can't remember. Slay the Spire lets you see relics behind the streamer's cam. True. I think Diablo 2 kind of does a similar thing where it hooks the game. And like how Path of Exile as well will show what's in a player's inventory. It's not, that one's quite different. But the Hearthstone one, if anything covers up a card, you can't hover over it anymore. So that's why I've always assumed that it was based on like image recognition. But yeah, something like that would be amazing. But if you have to actually hook into map tools, then it's a lot more complicated. So what is outputting these goddamn zeros? The count, which is visible and doesn't need to be. And then this doesn't even need to be a code layer anymore. Okay, something's
You got
weird.
kids?
Oh, well, it's always saying resist it. It doesn't even give a shit. What? Why would that happen? The fuck? Dude, yeah, this was, I don't like doing these things on stream that I don't understand how to do at first glance. Wah! Criken? Everyone who has said Criken has spelled his name so weird has a company? Shouldn't be easier since Map Tools is open source. If you can convince the Map Tools people to incorporate it into an official release, which sometimes is its own thing. Crickens. Is it not Criken? Is it Cricken? Are these different people? I can only keep track of one person at a time. No one can pronounce Ster. No one ever could, and I don't know what it is. I think it's a European thingy. Gretchen. Yeah, okay, so I don't understand what's happening right now in this. I'm rolling less than 100. But modify is being reduced to 0 anyway? Oh, wait, no, because it's rolling... Okay, now we're going to roll a D1. I see what's happening. I'm just dumb. I thought of it wrong. Okay. When a stun succeeds, it gives the error, though it still prints it out because... I think I don't have a stun sound is what that error is. But I definitely should. Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. Nothing makes any sense anymore. Apparently that was it. Okay, like... Okay, so some of them didn't... I'm getting somewhere. Some of them didn't make it through. I rolled 11 stuns, only 7 of them went through. What I need here is an output for the resist chance. Like, no matter what. Why is it still 30%? Because I'm never actually adding the diminishing stun resistance. Oh, because I'm... Okay, I understand where I am now. Everyone's happy. But where does it say stun res? Okay, the diminishing return things works now. So, it just applied one stun. One stun is equal to 25% chance to... Yeah, so we'll try and apply 4. All 4 worked, and now the diminishing... so it should not have worked at all. You want me to briefly... I'm like trying to do this. You want me to briefly describe how I would design a whole MMO? One complicated thing at a time. Why wouldn't it... What? This is getting weirder. Why would it not know the value of A when it's the first thing it does is tell you? And that's happening down here? Oh, because each time it's like rewriting. Dude, this is fucking way more complicated than I thought it would be. I thought I'd just pop in here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take like a whole... step back and realize how I'm doing this is probably all wrong. Think about the MMO question? Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, just from the beginning. You attempt to stun something. Let's say that this code is trying to stun you with 2 separate stuns. Okay? If your stun resist is over 100... Oh, that's what it's doing! You just think your way through. Okay. Wait, no. What's happening is you get here. I have 100% stun resist, so it's skipping the check for my stun resist. And then it gets down here for the result. And it's like, yo, what the fuck is a stun resist? So I need to not have that. Have this also be if modifies greater so that they both don't mess with each other. But what I don't understand is that I did this backwards. Okay, and I thought that I was at the time, and I was like, I'll see if I am, and then I am. Okay, no. Neither way works. So I have 205% stun resist. But I'm getting stunned. Oh, because I never did the... because I took that... Okay, God, I'm done after this. It is really just like, I'm at 0% brain capacity. When I go to the gym, I turn my brain off, and I never turned it back on. It just never happened. Okay, so if the stun is resisted... Let's just phrase this like normal. If the stun is resisted, then I succeed. If succeed is greater than 0, then modify is -1. And if succeed was less than 0, meaning, or less than equal to 0, then I didn't succeed, and then I need to... Let me write my notes for, like, brain dead me. No success. Add stun resistance. And that should not be stun, because we're making this universal. It should be name. Now I think we're good. Let's try and apply 3 stun. Nothing happened. By gosh. He's done it. Okay, but now what does it look like if I actually get stunned? I think there's some super weird edge cases with how I've done this that are gonna just like not work. This feeling very rubber band and tape. Okay, so stun plus 1 stun. Stun resist chance. That 0 is profoundly unnecessary. It's 30%. But shouldn't it be higher than 30% because I just got stunned? So it should be 30 plus 25. Based on the just being stunned. And this has to, God, yeah, this is like a train wreck. Okay, I'm gonna go. It's like almost there. At least something was done today. Stunning coding? Thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed. Or were stunned by it. I don't know. More verbose debugging? There's other stuff. It's not... nothing is happening wrong with the code. It's functioning like it's fine. And even the error it just gave, I'm fully aware of what all of that means and what the problem was. Just, yeah, I don't know. I'm out of it. I shouldn't be doing things that are not the most basic level of stuff that I could be doing at the moment. Can't wait for the Deathloop stream. Yeah, I'll probably try and stream it when it comes out, unless it comes out and everyone's like, wow, this is a buggy pile of shit. Then I'm gonna wait. Not basics? Honestly, this is pretty basic. I'm disappointed in myself. But anyway, I'll see you when I see you. I'll see if there's someone I can host, maybe. When talk about cum? That sounds fantastic. I'm gonna host this guy, and you're gonna go tell this guy that you're happy. I was gonna say happy to see him. No, you're just gonna go tell him that you're happy. Unless you're not. I don't, fuck, like, do whatever you want. You probably already left.